Yep.
Right, thank you very much. It's 7 o'clock, so we'll make a start on the meeting. Welcome you all to the February Parish Council meeting. We start off with apologies for absence.
Apologies from Malcolm and from Andy, actually, so official apologies. Malcolm is still unwell, unfortunately, and Andy's working up north.
Is everyone happy with those apologies?
Yeah.
Excellent. Any declarations of interest? I need to do my normal council, Somerset Council declaration, and also Parish Hall trustee.
I will also do Parish Hall.
Any other
Shots.
Is there any other gentlemen?
Nothing on the agenda.
So, okay. You've all had the minutes of the January meeting. Are there any amendments to those? Or is there someone who's prepared to propose a draft record?
I will propose.
Thank you. Seconded. There we go.
Squeeze it on one page.
That's Charlie.
Right,
okay. Excellent. Which takes on to the public speaking session. So, Ms. Lewinson, did you want to have a quick word?
Well, very, very quick. A couple of weeks ago, I answered Owen's call to become a member of the Flood Action Group. I've got a vested interest. I live in Cedar Close, and right at the bottom of the steep bit in the bungalow, and we get a fair bit of water whizzing past. When it's at its worst, and that recent storm, Chandra, that woke up a few springs that normally do wake up at this time of year. So I don't want to go on about my own problem here, because I know that a lot of people are in an even worse situation than me, but when it's at its worst, we get a stream running either side of the bungalow. It doesn't come up to the door threshold, but I wouldn't want to see it come anywhere near. It's only about a centimetre deep at the width of the side paths, but it's not what you want to see, really. So there's a spring just up by the kissing gate, so I understand. That runs up the back of my house, but most of it turns sharp right into Church Lane, and then goes on down. And there is the runoff from the church, I believe. It seems to me to run down the church steps, and then it comes down Church Lane. So there's a fair bit. I registered a concern a couple of years ago when we first moved in, because I heard rumours that there might be attempts to speed the flow or to alter the flow down Church Lane. And I came to one of the surgeries. Bob assured me that that speeding up the flow probably wasn't going to be the answer. And I know that since, having read old minutes, that qualified agencies have given you advice on how to go ahead, and that sort of alleviated lots of my concerns. So it's as simple as that. If I can help spread the load of whatever needs doing with regard to the work of the Flood Action Group, I'd be only too pleased. I've got a vested interest, and I know that there are people who are in an even worse position than me, particularly properties near to the church and the church itself. I don't know much about problems in the rest of the village, but I do watch the videos of these meetings occasionally, and I do hear about work that you all carry out. So if I can be of any assistance to that. There are people in the village that don't follow the minutes and don't watch the videos, and so there is a certain amount of gossip sort of going around about what might be happening and what might not be happening. So it'd be good if I could be part of the communication there, if I can help in any way. But that's it for me. Ellie asked me to come today, and how could I turn him down?
Can you just present the photo on that?
Sure.
Colin.
Thank you.
No worries.
Thanks.
Could I just add to our guests' comments, because the new resident at the end of, as you go down Church Lane, from the church, the new resident at the bottom on the left has complained that there has been quite serious pooling, for want of a better word, at the bottom of his drive, which he's now experiencing. And I think if we're going to run the water off down Church Lane, it is a problem, and you don't want to cause a problem lower down that is worse than the problem we've already got. So if you could, that could be noted, please. But thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
By all means, if you wish to stay, you can, or you can watch us later.
I'll watch the video.
We'll be in contact.
Thank you.
But thank you very much. And
Thank
thank you for your offer.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Bye now.
Okay, item 5 is planning matters, and we haven't moved on it. Okay.
Very little planning in the last 12 months.
Okay, clerk's report.
Well, just several things actually. On the request for membership of the flood group, we've now got 4 people indicating that they would like to join that. Obviously, I'll email the group. One came in yesterday, in fact 2 came in yesterday actually, and obviously Clive has indicated as well that he would like to be part of that group. So we've got 4, so that's a good mix of people actually to start with. So we'll move ahead with those. Just a small point, not for discussion really, but legal processes for completion of the shop lease. That's still rumbling on a bit at the moment, due to our solicitor being totally and utterly inefficient and hasn't really delivered what he promised me to deliver in terms of getting the documentation sorted out by, well, the middle of last year actually, to be honest. So I'm putting quite a bit of pressure on him now to get that resolved, because we can't run on too much longer without documentation being agreed. Approaches for speakers at the APM, the new vicar is one that's been possibly suggested. I've also approached the Western-super-Mare Samaritans, who we gave a grant to last month. They're coming back to me and say they may be able to give us half an hour, which would be really good. And any other thoughts that you might have? Jonathan mentioned the guy came to the board, the guy for the board. Perhaps that might be another.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that, so we can just approach them.
Would that be a good platform to present on Flood Action Group?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll put a bit of a plan together now, so we can get a few people and then Flood Action Group.
I mean, if you've got documentation or plans and stuff, then obviously we've got the screen in there now that can
You
be
were talking
done.
about PowerPoints, but you
So yes, we can certainly do that.
Yeah.
We just need obviously well, as long as you can feed it through Owen's computer, then that'll be fine.
Grants, we gave 4 grants last month. Citizens Advice, Western Samaritans, Dorset, Somerset Air Ambulance and St Michael's PCC, and all of those people have thanked us for our contribution. So that's good. We've also made in the last week or so 2 payments to the 2 young ladies guides, and we've had 2 payments from the charities account to them. And that's not technically a council issue because the charities account is not part of council funding. I thought it would be quite useful just to point out what's been done. And then we move on to surgery matters, really, the things that cover from the surgery, which is actually the next item technically, but it's all part of it.
Yeah.
A couple of issues were raised. Horse manure issues at the stables in Crooked Lane, causing a possible environmental issue where manure is dropping into the green, apparently. So this was reported, so I guess it's something we need to have a look at, I guess. Also, there are vehicles left on the left-hand side of Crooked Lane, which appear to be abandoned, or at least, I think abandoned is the right word, or are they actually being used? I can't.
Yeah, I think it's a mixture. I mean, there's certainly a couple of vehicles. It's beyond, well, it's before you get to the bridge, but on the left-hand side, in one of the fields. So in both of those, I think if the council are happy, we just pass them on to the right authority so we can notify the drainage board about the stuff going into the green, and we'll notify planning enforcement about potential.
Doesn't somebody live there in the caravans? That's his vehicles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that with, I don't know there's anyone authorised to live in caravans down there.
That's what happens, I think. You'll find.
Hence, possibly on the
And disused cars and a breakdown shop there at the moment. But
Hey,
You'll find they won't be able to do anything about it, because that's private land, that's owned by that bloke, in that caravan park. Because I stopped and chatted with him one day, and he said the cars are now, they're working for hard, but
but if it's agricultural land and someone is living there and or carrying
yeah,
some
yeah.
other business there,
yeah.
then that technically is a planning change of use. So
But even if he doesn't live there, it's still his private land,
Yeah.
which you're not supposed to touch, and vehicles on anyone's private land, you can have 50 years there.
yeah,
It's not an environmental problem, so,
but as I say, potentially it's a planning change of use
yeah.
because it's agricultural land and you're not supposed to use that for storing of vehicles.
The one on the left just before the bridge, isn't it?
Potentially, I think that might be. I don't know. But, I mean, we've had it reported to us, so I
Yeah.
know we.
Just got to do something with it. Just got to do nothing. We've got to make a decision on what we're going to do.
I mean, I think it's the difficulty we've always had is if someone has reported something to us, it makes more sense for us simply to pass it on to the authority rather than us take some that we'll pass on and others that we don't, because then it's like, who are you doing? Why are you treating some people differently to others?
Yeah.
I would say it's not our responsibility to solve the issue, but I think we are responsible for being the voice of our community. Yeah, because it's being reported, yes.
Yeah. Going back to manure, that's the normal thing you're going to get down little tracks and little roads because of tractors and stuff like that. Is it coming up off the tractors or is it?
No, what this is there's stabling which they've created a manure
Oh, on the right, is it
close
ones?
to the ream. And therefore the heap is falling into the ream rather than it's not individual.
Right, okay, yeah. Because that's a catch off, actually, but yeah.
Oh, I know.
The other thing that was raised, and again, not that we can particularly do anything, but Musk Farm was raised as a potential concern ongoing, I guess, and in fact the question was asked, what do they actually do there? Do they farm? Do they do anything else there? I have no idea.
Well, as a neighbour, they definitely do not farm animals or vegetables or fruits from scratch. It is just medical works, I would say.
Then there was also a request for an additional dog bin in Wood Lane, because apparently there isn't one there. It was actually on the corner of Burton Road and Wood Lane.
Apparently I can't remember, but apparently there used to be a dog bin there a number of years ago which disappeared and hasn't been replaced, but apparently there's a lot of dog fouling along the Burton Row end of Wick Lane because a lot of people are using it as a dog walking area. And the request was made as to whether we could consider doing that. I think if we were to request it, we need to just check with Somerset whether it be one of the ones that, because it's on the highway, they would actually pay for the emptying of it, but I think we would have to pay for the supply of the bin.
Installation.
I was going to say Middle Street is horrific, and that verge that was actually belongs to, it's a private it belongs to the house, and we get asked to go out and trim that verge, and it is covered in dog mess. And I don't think having the bin there is going to make these people pick it up. I think they go down there because they think they aren't being seen, and the dog can just mess there. I don't think we're going to get responsible dog owners by putting a bin up.
But Amanda said, if you put a bin there, I still don't think they're going to pick it up and put it in the bin, because they can just pick it up and take it over. If a load wasn't that hard, you know, it's got to be, well, I don't think it's going to be, you put the bin there, I don't think it's going to be worth it, because people are not going to pick it up in the first place.
In the hedge, is it bagged?
No,
So it's loose. So,
it's loose.
so yeah, so that's definitely
I've seen
justifying
people,
your case.
I've seen people going down there with their dogs, and I've confronted them, and they say, "What are you going to do about it? There's no fines or anything."
I think the question that was asked for us at the surgery was that we have made provision for dog bins in other areas of the village, but we haven't done it that end of the village, and why were we not necessarily treating that the same? So,
Well, I propose that we do as you suggest. We look at the cost of having a new bin, and also who will pick up the cost of
That's
emptying
the agenda.
it.
we'll put it on the agenda.
Maybe we're trying to get some costings for it, inflation.
Hey,
The cost of some signs as well, because it is a £1,000 fine.
Yeah.
And if they see them, that might deter them more.
Yeah.
Just get your camera out.
That's what I said.
Well, they kick it into the ring.
Yeah, that's what I said. You need to think.
The only other concerns were raised, which is generally Burton Road, concerns over extra weight and the easy to meet works, where it's going to cause more traffic, the sort of thing that we've had before, surgery, of course, which is an ongoing issue, isn't it?
Well, it is causing more traffic. I mean, it started down there, in the morning when it's queued back up through East Brent, the bulk of the traffic, and they can cut out 2 miles by coming through.
what we said we would do is raise it with highways, just to ask them what their plan is, how they're dealing with the traffic and what they're doing in terms of signage and where they're sending people. So we'll get that information and then feed back at the next meeting.
When the work is done, do we know the impact on getting out Brent Street? Because if you're going to have traffic coming round, I guess there'll be lights.
Yes.
So you're only going to have a gap between the lights to get out.
It has been raised with highways, and at the moment, their argument is the computer modelling says it will make it easier to get out Brent Street because it will create
A gap.
gaps.
Is it worth us writing a letter? Because I was talking to a traffic engineer the other day and he said you'll never pull out of this village again when they've done
I mean,
it. Is it worth us writing a letter?
I mean,
Just
certainly-
highlighting not that particular comment, but
yes, I mean, it has certainly been raised, and we've raised it again when they did the consultation about the roundabout. To be frank, as things stand at the moment, what's going to happen there is now going to happen there. So, by all means, we can write to raise it again as a concern, but it's not going to change what's happening at the roundabout.
That's it really from me.
One question, we got the response back from Parish Hall. I don't see where we're going to cover that. Is that going to cover those in the parks?
Yeah, the finance, two grants in there. Yeah.
Okay. That takes us on to footpaths team. Any reports on footpaths? Pretty wet and muddy.
I've got something to
Yeah.
report, if that's all right.
Absolutely.
Amanda was written to by a member of the village about concerns regarding certain styles and whether they could be made more user-friendly or made a bit safer. So I walked the route of the various points that they had made, and I've taken some pictures just to highlight what the problems are or what we could make them probably better, probably safer for pedestrians. And I think the photographs, if we can get them up,
They're on here.
might be okay to help us.
It's not plugged in.
Right.
Simple.
Right, if we just stop. At the end of the first one was at the, if you go down Bodies Lane, turn right, and you come out to the first gate here, and the person identified that the gate was all at an angle. It was awkward to walk over, dogs couldn't get through, blah, blah, blah. The reason is that, and David will probably be able to answer this, is that in the gate there is a bolt with an eye on it, and that has gone. And if you put a new eye in it, put it on the hook, the gate will hang perfectly okay. And that's so. If you go to another slide, I think, Owen.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah, that's what's missing. One of those down the bottom. The hooks are there for the gate. It just needs a new one, putting on the bottom, and then the gate rehanging. Job done. I don't see any other problem with that. Maybe a bit of hardcore underneath it.
I've got 2 galvanised ones like that.
Bolts.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it just needs one on the bottom, rehang it, and it's fine. The hooks are
And replace that one at the same time just as well.
if it can be, but it looks pretty rusted onto me. Okay. Do you want to go on a bit? Go to the second one along. No, we've had that one. Sorry,
Yeah.
that one. Okay, if you walk, go towards the railway bridge, and then you do a right to go across the fields. You'll find that there are setups like this: 2 galvanised gates. The planks are obviously old sleepers. They are slippy, and the rails are not in a good state. If anyone were to slip on those, if they didn't hold that handrail careful, they would be in the ream, because there's a good 4 foot between that rail and the plank. So, it is what it is. That's the way it's set up. But we could perhaps look maybe at putting some wire meshing down or non-slip things on those sleepers, which would help. If you go to the next slide, Owen.
Is the handrails, they tend to be covered in moss and
Yeah,
lichens,
yeah,
so that makes them
yeah.
slippery.
Go to the next one. That's not very helpful, please. This is the other end of that style, and you can see it's really bad. That is really squelchy, horrible mud that you have to, and there's no way round it either. You've got to step into it in order to get through. So again, that's put some hardcore down on something, or it needs to be addressed. Okay.
Just on that point, I have just had my patio slabs removed, so I have lots of really thick patio slabs. Instead of hardcore,
It's going to be slowly, it's still the same because people mudding it on and slabs it's just
Well,
slowly.
if it could be smashed up.
Yeah.
Okay, this is an interesting one. We've got a galvanised gate one end, the same architecture for this style routine as on the other one. Handrails, again, if you slip, you fall in the ream. The gate at the far end is wood, but it's okay. It's in a good state of repair. It does need a slight repair, and if you go to the next slide, I think, Owen. No, the next one. Those are the planks which need sorting. No. There, that one. The only thing that needs doing on that is the hinge needs refixing on the gate, and then it's perfectly okay. But again, the same applies to that style routine as the other ones. The handrails are not too good, and the things are slippy. Again, it's muddy either end. Okay. There is. Oh no! Can we go back a moment now? That one.
Come on.
Yeah. No. I don't know. Are there any more pictures?
No.
Okay.
I took off your email.
The last one, the last style setup before you get to the field that goes into the where you know that where you walk between the cottages. There's to come out by the red cow.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last setup that enters into the field has a gate at one end, but a stile at the other one. And so it would be a good idea to get a pedestrian gate to go on the end of that, and then they're all the same. That would be useful. So for those there, I would suggest that we look at making the boarding a bit better with some chicken wire or something to make it non-slip, and a gate, repair the one gate with the hinge, and a new pedestrian gate. Then we would be, all those would be fine.
One gate, let's go. We need to-
Yeah, yeah. Okay, if you go now to the very last one.
Aside from the sleepers being slippy, do they look intact?
Yeah, no,
It's all right.
Yeah,
It's just- it's just
yeah,
slipping,
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, this is the style. I'm disappointed all the pictures haven't come through, but this is the style that leads into the field where you come between the houses onto Brent Street. Sheila Field. It's rotten, but again, it would be great to have to get rid of those stiles, and you could put 2 pedestrian gates there, which would make it far
Yeah,
easier.
I did say all this at the last meeting, I think, because I read out the email that came
Yeah,
from.
so, but I do
Well,
have
in
a
the last
picture.
meeting, we said we would have a look at it.
Yeah, we were going to have a look, and yeah,
Colin's done that in effect with
Yeah,
pictures. So.
yeah. And it was that one was the worst one that was broken, that style.
So, and he's a bit wobbly, that one. So, again, if we could put 2 gates there, it would be good. The other one that I did take a picture of that hasn't come
There were a
through
couple of blanks. It just came up as blank.
is the other. If you come down through Mrs. Berry's field, over that scar, walk across the horse field path, and then you come to another style bridge that goes over the Reen. Again, that if we could put 2 gates there, it would alleviate the problem of stepping over and walking on muddy boards, for want of better. So again, put some chicken wire down, make it safe. Pedestrian gate at each end would be really good. So effectively, I'm asking for 5 gates, 5 pedestrian gates, and somebody to put chicken wire on the things, and go from
There's
there.
5 gates on Christie's.
Well, we just need to check.
I'll see what's in stock.
Yeah.
I think we've got 4 kissing gates, but you don't want kissing gates, you want Stafford gates.
You want
We
like
know
the
we
Stafford
need
ones?
Yeah, because
A couple of those kissing gates have already got allocated
Yeah.
for other parts as well.
Yeah.
So,
you want Stafford gates, because you don't want the mesh enclosure round it. I think we have 1 of them in stock anyway, but I was going to have a look today and I just never got that.
so we need, but so with 4 Stafford gates, we need to ask for another. As we
5.
discussed it.
5.
We've already got 1 in stock.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we can ask for 5.
Yeah.
We'll ask for 5, see what happens.
We have got some kissing gates, which if we needed to, we could actually use the gate.
Yeah,
now
it could
for
use
kissing
the gate,
but
yeah.
We'll keep those if we can. From the last meeting, we need to chase up the Bristol gate, which was up at the footpath by the Diamonds farm. And are you happy that we contact Steve Pinn and ask him to?
I think we need to get other quotes. I think we need more than 1 quote.
Okay. So we'll
Any suggestions of who?
Jason, and thank you.
Jason.
No.
Yeah,
Jason's area, is it?
Thursday, he's doing a lot.
Yeah.
So basically, the quote from them is the installation of the gates and the doing of the chicken wire and the taking out any bits that need to be taken out.
Has anybody got Ian's contact details?
Ian.
Can you send them on to me?
Ian?
Yeah, I'll send it by email too.
Okay.
I did have it some time ago, but I don't know about it now. Okay.
Just one last one. It might, Bill, you can buy, correct from wrong here, David, you can buy pieces of rough plasticky material which may get away from the problems maybe of using chicken wire, which can be bolted straight in, which are probably just as good. So maybe look at that.
So if we ask them to quote for doing a non-slip surface rather than necessarily chicken wire, because as you say, chicken wire, always at risk of people trimming down.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
I was going to say, do you know if there are other things that, is there a standard thing that we could put on them?
I think with chicken wire, it always seems to be, it fills up with mud and then you don't even know it's there, or it breaks up and you've got it in a dog's foot or something, because it's so thin, it doesn't, it just starts rusting out.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a standard thing that people put on that kind of a bridge to.
There is all sorts of non-slip surfaces, but I think you'd have to pick something that's pretty robust to go on the
Yeah,
feet
exactly,
first.
because of the mud.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll get the quotes and also check with deceased around the gates.
Okay.
You need to identify the stars from the map that we put.
Yes.
But they'll be delivered anyway to Paul Foster's.
Yeah.
But in terms of two quotes, they'll need to know where they're.
Yeah, well, if they, by all means, if they want to contact me, I'll
Yeah.
walk them
Okay.
down. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else on footpaths? Okay. Anything on highways? Jane?
There is a sign. When you come out of the shop in the car park, there's property next door, and they have, there's a triangular sign for children's crossing, and it's all overgrown. Is
Okay.
it possible to prune it back?
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it is relevant, but the other day when it was really cold and frosty, is it possible to have a salt bin by the village hall? Because outside the shop, it was like a skating rink. And you haven't got a salt bin?
We got a salt bin anywhere.
There's one at the church,
Yeah.
there's one at Top Hill Lane.
It was really icy. We wanted to the elderly residents.
You'll only get it provided to us though for roads,
Yeah.
because that's technically private property,
Oh.
so we'd have to.
Well, outside the village hall and,
We'd have to fund it
oh
ourselves.
right.
So we could go and dip out a bucket of salt from up the top. You can
I mean, it was just a one-off, but I mean, it was slippery.
Okay. Put that on the agenda, we can probably look at through Glasgow and see what the sort of costing would be.
Okay.
So, and that's really the location, really just more or less outside the shop, really.
No, it was outside, I mean, it was on the tarmac and the village hall, so.
Okay. Cool.
There is a very loose, dropped curb outside Inwood on Church Lane. It is bad. It needs taking out and reseating because it's loose and is doing more damage by being loose to the road surface.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Aid.
Verges are being wrecked by more HGVs now for the golf club. They're coming up through Burton Row instead of going the long way round. They're coming up through Burton Row, up Station Road, and Road, and at the top. And all the verges now are just collapsing in that lot. And especially David Berkshire as well, just past my fence and Road. There's like a foot all down that lot now.
I know, it's just before the
Yeah.
bridge is quite something.
And they're just wrecking it. And if it's a 40-ton weight limit, which, so the council and the railway need, contacting, because I think the railway supplied a 40 mile an hour to bear the tonnage. But it's getting diabolical now, especially with this new roundabout being done. They're not going to bother going down there, they'll all come up here. I passed 2 hours a day, and it's just ridiculous because it's a little village, little lanes, and they're just ripping up the verges.
Is it time to mention the old favourite that
Songs.
everyone loves, the school parking on the highways, because it is pretty awful at times at the moment, inconsiderate parking. And I know some councillors have had issues, and I was told of an issue a few days ago where someone got dragged out of the car by the hairdressers because they were disputing the rules of the road. And this was all at school time, and I don't know what we do. It's always a problem that there's some awful parking and driving.
I think it's like understanding of the highway code.
Yeah.
People think it's my right of way.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily if someone's already
Yeah.
crossing traffic.
That's right. But I don't know what we do. But
I mean, the first thing is again to take it back to the school because it's their parents. And it may well be if we raise it with the school, they can raise it with the PCSOs as well. Yeah.
In that letter, could you remind the parents that they're not supposed to park over drop curb? Because
It's in the
they
big
don't. Yeah, but they don't. If they don't, if their kids, if they don't, their kids go to the school, but they don't live in the village. They're not going to read it, and they don't know that you're not allowed to park over drop curb.
Yeah, I think we're raised with the headmaster. I know he's raised it with parents periodically before, so we'll.
I did get an email a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Right. One other thing on sort of listed highways. At the last meeting, we were asked to get the quotes for the Middle Street fence. So we've had a couple of sets of quotes come through. First one is to replace what's there at the moment. He's quoted to do it with wooden fence, and that would be, including labour and parts, £930 plus VAT. We've had a alternative quote that's come in as well, which was they've actually gone and found where the plastic fence that we got there came from, and the quote for replacing it as it was originally with a full plastic fence is £895. They've also said they could reuse some of the stuff that's there, although obviously it wouldn't look as good. They could do that for £785, so that's about £100 cheaper. Or they've said that they could do what they described as a treated timber knee-high fence, which would be like one of the ones with the square cut into a piece of wood, and that would be £660. So,
Not have galvanised steel.
That one barbed wire.
I think the plastic would be better.
Yeah,
Plastic would be better.
so the plastic would be as it was before.
Yeah, you can see it.
I would
can't
say
miss
the
it.
plastic's better and it's going to last.
Yes.
Yeah.
8.
I've had a look at that plastic. We can just join it back together ourselves. Just get some new metal brackets and just join it back together ourselves. You're saving yourself 800, 900 quid.
Working party.
We're throwing money away when there's no need to. If we can, if we had a couple of brackets, 10 quid's worth, we should be able to put it back together and put some stakes in the bottom and then slide the plastic bits over the stakes. That's how it's been put in before. So they're working party to do that. It's
the only thing I'll say is because I have to go down Middle Street with something that was rather large the other day is the hedge of the property opposite the fence makes you, because it was long what I was going down with, it makes you drive as close to that fence as you can because you don't want to pull the people's hedge out that's come out and out over the years.
The hedge does get cut. It was being cut
Yeah,
recently.
but it's not cut, it sticks out in the road a lot more.
Is that
than
because
it
of the
used to.
trees or is it the hedge?
It's the hedge, but everybody, and I said to someone about it, someone that's also got land down there, and they said they're worried about taking the hedge out as you take the corner.
Okay, well, we can certainly drop a note to the residents whose hedges.
It's a bit of a.
They would probably be quite happy to take the hedge right back.
Yeah.
The only problem with those trees are all TPO'd.
Yeah,
So
it's not the
was,
trees.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. If it's not touched
But
trees, but I bet they
It
take the hedge. I bet they
I'd
would take
never
the
considered it until I went down there and then thought, oh, actually, this is why
Yeah.
that railing's in the ditch, because you have to
You
be
have
over
to
there to
avoid
get
it.
round the corner.
Yeah, I bet they'd be happy.
So, well, starting with the hedge, I'm most happy that we write to the dwelling that's opposite that fence.
Can somebody tell me who they
I
are?
can do that off camera. But yes, I can say that, you know, whose property it is. So you're happy that we write to them and ask them if they can cut the hedge back to make access easier. What do you want to do in terms of the fence?
I'm happy to go with the word party if you think we can do it. Is it doable?
I don't know, I haven't really looked at it in detail.
Well, it's sunk in concrete. It's the concrete.
If we could
thing.
save all that money, it's like what we did when we took all those titles on the green, or the surface on the green. We saved like £2,000 by doing that ourselves, and I think, yeah, if we can.
I've just put in 20-foot of fencing, so
I'm
It's
up
sunk in
for
concrete.
helping.
I think the only issue would be if we need to remove the existing concrete, that's quite a hard job.
You had a look at it, Adi?
yeah.
Yeah, you were happy.
I've just been doing this, we've just done 20
No,
foot.
no, no, but what's already there.
Yeah, that's
We
what I mean,
have
I've
to
just
remove
put it out
it.
and replaced it, so I don't know, yeah.
One
Do
thing we will have to look, we may end up not taking too much stuff out, because you were taking it out, you might take the entire bank.
Yeah. So we leave it where it is, as much as where it is, and just rebuild.
Yeah, you move it, you know, where the post was before, just move it this way and not have a foot, then make a new, yeah.
I'm happy to help if we're doing that. I don't mind. We've done loads of stuff, haven't we, like that?
And I'll open other half.
Okay.
You can make the cake.
So in fact, we won't at the moment go ahead with any of the quotes we've had, because we're going to attempt to do it ourselves, and then we can come back to, if there's a problem with that, we'll come back to the quotes after that.
Yeah, if we can't do it, we need to have a bash.
Shall I propose we put a time frame in this?
Yes.
Because it's open-ended at the moment, so we need to, before the next meeting, have at least agreed when we're going to do it, if not,
Yeah.
we've done it. Otherwise, I think we need to ask somebody else, because we don't have time to do this.
I'll look at it Saturday morning,
Review again next meeting then?
I'll look at it Saturday morning straight away.
Review the plan.
Well, so we agreed that we are happy for a working party to get on and do it,
Mhm.
and if they haven't done it by the next meeting, we need to have a definite date as to when it's being done
Yes,
by.
good idea.
So we Friday morning, I'll look at it.
Okay, Colin.
Will the working party need agreement that they can spend small sums of money in order to buy materials?
Yes.
Perhaps we should give them permission to do just that.
Do you want to suggest an amount or?
Oh, crikey.
What do you think it would cost?
We've got, we need some post-creed, some bolts.
Say
Maybe like-
100.
Anything up to
I
100?
got 6, 20 quid, yeah, anything
Say
up to 100.
100.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes. Those in favour? Okay. Okay, that's carried. Thank you very much. Excellent. Right, that takes us on to Charlie in the Village Green.
So I inspected it twice. I had the worst month to inspect the green. So I've sent the report through to Owen, but in summary, it was muddy, it was wet, it was soggy. So it wasn't great, but it is in the report. Ultimately, it's not a great experience at the moment to be in the green. There was a lot of litter around, but a lot of it was what I would call light litter. And I don't know if a lot of it's been blown in rather than people dropping it in the green. So normally I see like bottles and stuff like that. Lots of this was like sweet wrappers and things like that. So I don't know if that's, we had a lot of heavy winds, whether that was blown in. Underneath some of the equipment, as we've discussed before, that needs replacing. What's it called that you sit and eat at? Benches. The benches, well, again, we need to get on with it because it's the wooden one.
Picnic bench,
Yeah.
is that not, that went, didn't it?
Yeah, I chopped it up.
Oh,
Bob asked me on the Friday.
I asked James to check it and you said it was a bit tatty. Oh well. When was it?
About 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, well, I will clarify which one it was.
Yeah.
I
So,
started burning it.
he said the benches and still looking isn't very good, so I will check with him. I said we should take his benches while I was picking up litter.
Okay.
Oh, well, maybe it was something else that was
It's mud on there.
Maybe it was mud. It was a horrible day when we went down, the 2 days we went down. Maybe even drinking. With regards to the toilets, obviously didn't experience anything you did about the locking. but the knock-on effect of it being horrible weather is the toilets were disgusting. On one visit, the other visit, the cleaners must have been in that day
Yeah.
because they were immaculate. So it just goes to show when the cleaners are in, it's really
So when you say
good.
disgusting, is that like mud on the
It's just mud
floor?
on the floor.
Okay.
So, and again, that could cause a little bit of slippiness on the floor. So
Okay. Jane and then Aid.
I noticed that on the village green, there was a like a lake around the base of the slide, steps you go up, so there is definitely flooding
Yeah.
issues in the
but how many people are actually
Well,
using it?
last meeting I brought it up, the guttering on the back of the bin shed hasn't been done, and I said I would do it if you wanted me to do it, but nothing's been done about that.
Okay.
Load of rubbish by the basketball court again, this bit here. If we had a bin there, I think it would be,
yeah.
but I think they would put it in there then. It's
It's
just
like
like bins right over the far side, and they don't want to walk all the way over there, but if the bin's there, where the court is, I think if we had one there, I think they will put it in that bin.
Yeah.
You know, because they are good lads with normally, but that's, I've noticed.
Yeah. If we put a bin there, that will be one that we will obviously need to supply and
Mm.
we'll then pay to have it empty because it's not on the highway,
Right.
which would be, is that a couple hundred quid?
Yeah, a bit more than that, actually, I think.
Well, couldn't,
Per year,
350, I
is
think.
that per year?
It's not that far to walk though, is it?
I know.
no, but they don't.
Because of course there's a new bit
Some
about
day you could
to
buy
go
bins
out
anyway.
front of the shop, isn't
Yeah.
there? Which isn't in situ yet.
Yeah.
Can we chase Karen Barnes on
Yeah,
the
Karen
shop
Barnes
bit,
bin,
because
yeah.
that will be at least another bin that's nearer there.
See, I think
Yeah.
And at least they're passing that on the way out.
Yes.
we can also revisit
Going
it.
back to the guttering, if AD's happy to do it, shall we agree that AD can do it?
If you're up for doing that.
And what's going to stop it from happening again?
And I was suggesting net higher than the, what do you call it, there is.
Because
He's putting another 6 foot net on top of that, measuring as it is, and the ball's not coming over now. Because at the moment, the ball's hitting that.
But then how's that being?
Well, it's at the side as well, so you're going to have to put some at the side, net at the side or something like that, because that's where it's going. It's hitting that. Fence coming around here, the shed's here like this, shed's there, and the fence is here, it needs something here, because when they get that ball, it hits that shed. Or you put a bracket or something on towards the fencing, so if the ball doesn't touch that guttering at all, when you're looking at it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out what you can do, which is
Mm.
it's going to be durable enough to stand up to anyone deciding they want to try and climb up it as well, because we know with the fence that's there at the moment, which is not supposed to be climbed on, it's climbed on as well. So
The trouble is, it's children, they're going to.
Exactly.
We all done it when we was kids.
exactly.
Electric
Yeah.
fencing
What, right, the whole
on the
Can you
mains.
have a look at it and come back with a
Yeah.
suggestion as to what we could do, and then we'll try and work out what it involves, because it might be it's cheaper for us actually to occasionally have to replace the guttering rather than do a major.
Yeah.
It's probably would be better to just replace it going every now and then, maybe 8 months quid.
Yeah, so is it
Yeah.
worth just replacing it?
We'll do the replacement to start with, and as I say, if you come up with a cunning plan, let us know, and
Yeah.
That's what that's right.
Or soft
Okay.
footballs made of foam?
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else on green? Audit and staffing haven't met.
No.
Shop gate haven't met. Flood action group, anything that?
Yeah, I was sitting down and got a folder for the Brent Knoll Parish Council Flood Protection Group. So if there's any flooding, like obviously Clive